All right, addicts. We have Mr. David Shankle, the Shred Demon, on the phone. David, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing real good, Bill and Renee. Thanks for having me on the show, and hail to all you metal people out there.
Oh, great to have you. Thank you, and I really appreciate you calling in tonight, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you guys wanted to have me and talk about the days of MASSACRE and new DSG and, and all kinds of fun stuff for a little bit.
Cool, man. Well, let's talk about David Shankle, man. Let's talk about the history, man. When'd y'all get started?
Well, if you're talking about DSG, as soon as I got out of MASSACRE, I left one college and went to Roosevelt University to finish my degree in music and jazz and classical guitar, and I started DSG right then at the end of, 95. I've put out 2 albums since then, Ashes to Ashes, in the end of 2003, and then 2007 at the Magic Circle Fest, we put out the Hellborn CD, and I'm just about done with the 3rd DSG record. We're in the process of signing a new record deal with a new label, and I just locked in my new guitar endorsement with Grossman Guitars in Romania, with Crispin Grossman, who's building custom handmade guitars for me, new 29-fret signature guitars for me at 24 frets, the new Shred machines.
Oh, sweet, man, sweet. Kick ass.
You're the first people that I'm announcing that to on your radio station before I even put the promo flyer up starting tomorrow morning, so I wanted you to know that.
Wow, thank you, man. Thanks. That's
kick-ass.
You got it,
man. You got it.
Kick ass, man. Let's talk about MANOWAR for a while there, brother. How was your experience with that group, man?
Well, it was wonderful. I was in the band from 88 until 95. I was playing in Chicago doing the Bar Start thing, enjoying them, where Ross was leaving the band, and Ross and I were friends, and he had told them about me, and they came out and seen me play, and I started hanging out with them, and they offered me a gig in the job, and it changed my life. I quit my job and toured with them. I toured doing the Kings of Metal record, and then after that tour, Joey and I sat down and wrote Triumph of Steel, which is the first record that ever went platinum, and I'm pretty proud of that. I wrote 5 of the songs on there with Joey, and toured with them, had some good times, did a lot of videos, and when that part of my life ended, I went to college, like I said, and started the DSG band, and then I signed with Magic Circle Music, Joey's label, to do the Ashes CD, and to put out the Hellborn CD, which on the Hellborn CD, I have some guest artists on there. T.D. Clark from Chicago, a really good guitar player friend of mine. Joe Stump, who's with Magic Circle Music and plays in Holy Hell. And Michelangelo Badio, a good friend of mine. He played on there in a song called The Voyage. It's called the Shred track, The Voyage. And I played on Mike Badio's last CD as well, Hands Without a Shadow, Part 2.
Cool, man, cool.
I also got this year, it'll be 15 guest solo CDs that I'm on from a lot of great players, from T.D. Clark, Badio. I'm doing the full-length Voodoo Gods record, Tommy Vitale, Pegasus, Jason Yoger, a lot of great guys. I've played a lot of their stuff on there. Jack Star, a couple of bands I've done guest solo work for, and like I said, Mike Badio's record. So I've got some more guest solo work I'm doing, a full Voodoo Gods record coming out, voodoogods.com. People can go to and check out. We also have a brand new website out now for DSG. It's just davidshankle.com, and it's got everything on there from videos, lessons, everybody in the band's bio, what they've done, what bands they've been in, upcoming news and stuff. So I finally got that together and done, and it's something we can keep updated, and I own it, and I'm running it, and I'm really proud of it. I had it built for me, and it was just done about a month ago.
Sweet, man, sweet. Now you got a lot of talent in DSG. Can you tell us about the guys?
Yeah, Warren Halverson, my singer. Out of all the singers I've had, I've liked them all, but he's the most appropriate singer that I've had in DSG, and he's in a wonderful tribute band called Heaven and Hell in Chicago. They do all Dio and Sabbath stuff, so that's where I found him from. And Gabriel Anthony, my drummer, he was in a Van Halen tribute band and in a band with Pamela Moore, who did stuff on 2 of the Queensryche records.
Right.
And Mike Doodley, my bass player, all these guys come from other original band and copy bands. He's got a band called Hell Awaits, which is a tribute band, a Slayer tribute band, and then he plays with another guitar player, really good friend of mine, good player, Kevin M. Buck, in the Ozzy tribute band in Chicago. So they do that. But when it comes to the heavy hitting stuff, I got all these guys in my band for all the original stuff. I'm glad to have them. I believe this is the best DSG band I've had to date.
Sweet, man, sweet. Now, how do you
I
go?
love all those guys, and I couldn't do it without them.
Cool, cool, man. Now, how do you go about writing your songs, man?
Well, you know, everybody's got their own way and their own formula. With me, music just kind of comes to my head, and I always keep a little micro cassette player next to me, whether I'm driving to the music school to teach or I'm going out, and if an idea comes in my head, I'll just kind of hum it into this recorder so I can get into my studio room and then feel off what I was talking about or humming, and then ideas come to me and I start laying them down, and I'll lay down 10 to 12 different rhythms within a week or 2 weeks, and some of them will turn into a song, or 2 or 3 of them will combine and become a song. Some of them become instrumental, some of them become vocal songs. It just all depends on how it hits me when I start to pull it all together in the cake pan, man.
Cool, man, cool.
And I let the rhythms of the song pull me towards what the melody should be for the leads, and the harmonies to go for the leads, to let the rhythm tell me what lead needs to go to that.
Sweet, man, sweet. Now, when did you first start playing guitar, man? Because it seems like you've been playing forever.
Well, I've been started playing guitar when I was 13, and I played for about 2 weeks, and then I either wanted to play guitar again or be Evel Knievel, and my parents thought I would live longer if I played guitar, so I went and got another guitar when I was like 15, started playing, took lessons from a good friend of mine in town named Howard Anderson, good rock blues player at the time. He kind of taught me how to teach myself, and then I studied every hot guitar player that I liked, from Al Di Meola, Chick Corea, Robin Trower, Michael Schenker in the younger days, Julie Roth, and then all those Hot Licks videos that came out. I taught myself. I was learning how to read music out of a book. My father was a music teacher. He got me started learning to read music, and as I got older, I just was teaching myself and started studying out of books, and then went to junior college at COD and studied music theory and classical guitar, and played around Chicago and won a handful of guitar competitions, and then got discovered by MASSACRE and went on tour. And as I got out of MASSACRE, I took my credits from one school and went to Roosevelt University and graduated from there with a degree in the guitar department, man. And I'm a teacher. I've been teaching professionally for 22 years. If anybody's interested in lessons with me, you can just go on my website under lesson page or on YouTube. I teach lessons over Skypes. If you got high-speed internet, a webcam, a computer, we can do lessons one-on-one with each other. And my flyer tells you what it's all about, man. It's up on my website and on my Facebook page as well, man. Doesn't matter where you're at. I've got guys in Australia, Indiana, Texas, Florida that we do lessons with all the time, man. And guys that come to my home studio, and I teach at a music school as well.
Sweet, man. Imagine that, lessons from the Shred Demon himself. That's pretty cool, man.
Hey, David, I've got a question for you. Since we mainly feature the unsigned bands, I want to know what type of advice you would give to a new band just starting up.
Advice I would give to a new band is, number one, try and find everybody you can get along with. Try and be equal partners with everybody in the band and give everybody the right to say how they feel and to voice their opinion, and meet everybody halfway. It's important. But yes, somebody has to be a leader and help try and make a final decision. Try and get a manager and somebody that can help promote you. No Photoshop. Get your music out there on as many websites and Reverb Nation that you can. You know, get good demos, get good photos together and a good bio of the band, and promote your music as much as you can, and try and equally as a band write good material together. Because if you can't do that, you know, you're never going to have a fighting chance to really get out there. Whether you're a singer, a guitar player, drummer, bass player, take lessons from the best guys in town or from the best music studios and learn everything you can from anybody. Even guys that aren't as good as you can always learn something from them. And soak up as much as you can while you're young, while you're living at home, and, you know, because eventually you're going to get older and you got to move out, get a job, pay your own bills, and practicing 10 hours a day doesn't always happen anymore. So learn what you can while you're young and let that grow with you as you grow into your adulthood.
Great advice there. Definitely.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you've seen on the road or at a show?
Oh, well, the craziest stuff you think you can see is when you get people just trying to jump up on the crowd, and then they'll like in Germany when you're playing over there, when those people really like you, believe it or not, they will throw water jugs up at you, and what it looks like they're flipping you off is really like a middle finger and half the third finger, and that's kind of their way of hailing you. That was pretty crazy the first time I saw that because I didn't know what was coming at us. And just people that throw all kinds of stuff to you up on stage, from anything from phone numbers, cell phones, pictures with their babies, bras, panties. I mean, crazy people do all kinds of crazy things, and that happens to all kinds of bands. And I think that was more like that back in the late 80s going into the early 90s. You really don't see much of that stuff too much anymore.
Right. Now, man, the first song I want to play is Etude. What can you tell us about it, man?
That is an instrumental neoclassical track that's on the first DSG record, Ashes to Ashes. And originally that track was meant to have vocals, but my singer listened to it, was like, look, let's turn it into an instrumental. He had troubles getting a vocal line, so I sat down with it and turned it into this instrumental, and it's done well for me. I play it at my clinics, and it was my first one I wrote for the record called Etude. It's a neoclassical shred piece.
All right, listeners, check this out. This is Etude from David Shankle. We'll be right back with more insanity. Check this out. right, addicts, we're back with David the Shred Demon Shankle. David, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Hail everybody out there and all of you in the chat room. I hope you like that tune and it melted your bass.
Sweet, sweet. Now, David, you got a new guitar out you want to talk about?
I've got a new company I'm working with. It's called Grossman Guitars. They're in Romania. Christian Grossman. This guy's a phenomenal luthier. Custom builds only signature guitars for guys. And I will be having out 2 new shred machines. 2 different styles. We are designing it now, and hopefully before Christmas or by the new year, I will have a 6-string and a 7-string in my hand, and then I'll have the other 2 following after that, and then we'll eventually be working on a prototype for an 8-string. But we just want to get these guitars to me so I can have something to play in my hands, do the new promo pictures, and as soon as I get these new signature guitars, I'll be shooting my first instructional DVD for the ShredAcademy.com that they've been waiting a long time for me to do 3 instructional videos with them. And as soon as I get these guitars, I will be playing them exclusively and shooting my Shred instructional DVD for ShredAcademy.com. If you go to their site, it talks all about it, and it's up on their site, man.
Sweet, sweet, man. So what else you got in the works, man?
Well, we've got this new guitar deal. I got the new band. We're finishing up a couple of more songs for the new record. And the band's playing out a lot. My manager, Johnny Pettigrew, is working on some shows heading into the new year for some festivals in Europe, besides working on the Voodoo Gods records, which the singer on that record is Nigel from Behemoth. He's doing all the vocals on that. And Alex Von Posch is the drummer, who's pretty much is his band, and hired all of us to be in the band to do the recording. So we're all trying to get together to do some shows in Europe after the new year here. And I'm in the process of signing a new record label. Can't mention the name yet until the deal's done, but we're about 99% done with the deal, and everybody will know about it very, very soon, where you'll be able to actually get the record, physical product, digital downloads, new merchandise, and worldwide distribution, and I'm very happy with that.
Cool, cool, man, cool. So now, brother, when you're not touring, when you're not writing, when you're not hanging out with the band, what do you do for a day off, man? What do you enjoy doing?
My wife and I like to go to a lot of the German fests that are going on now for Oktoberfest. My wife cooks a lot. I enjoy watching her make great food, and I do a lot of teaching. I have students that come to my house. Some are beginners, some are intermediate, some are advanced. I teach a lot of people online and at a music school. So, in between recording, playing, or driving to the school to teach, or guys at my home studio and online, it keeps me pretty busy, and trying to hang out and see my parents, and visit them as much as I can.
Cool, man, cool. Now, who would you say your influences are, brother?
Well, that depends on the era. When I was first growing up and I was very, very young in my early teens, I was into, Michael Schenker, Yuli Roth, Chick Corea, Al Di Meola. Those were the guys that really influenced me. And then as I got a little older, I was hip to Eddie Van Halen, Steve Vai. Then I got into the whole shred world with the Paul Gilberts, Marty Friedman, Jason Becker. But some of my most influenced guitar players that have made the most impact on me as a player goes from Al Di Meola, Alan Holdsworth. I love Paul Gilbert stuff. Sean Lane, God rest his soul. Guys like that I really like as the guitar players that have had a big impact on my playing, man.
Now, what's the most rock star thing that's happened to Mr. David Shankle here, brother?
The most rock star thing that's happened to David Shankle, I would say, when I was actually accepted and got in MANOWAR and started touring and actually saw what it was like to be on a stage in front of more than 500 people. And I'm talking playing in front of 5,000, 10,000, then 30,000, going to Greece and playing on such a big stage where you actually can experience an ocean of heads. And being able to bring my wife with me when we did the Magic Circle Fest, the MANOWAR reunion in 2005, the Earthshaker Fest, there was like 40 to 50,000 people out there in the crowd, man. It was all filmed for a DVD, got to do a clinic there, and then went back in 2007 and played with my Hellborn DSG band. And it was like, another 30,000 people. That really gives you that feeling that all the things you've done for certain moments in time actually pay off and make it worthwhile.
Cool, man, cool.
You know, it's one thing to always play the clubs, and I love playing the clubs because I like that intimacy, but there's nothing wrong, brother, with being up in front of 30 to 50,000 people, man, on a really big festival stage. There's nothing wrong with that either.
Cool, man. Now, do you have any Spinal Tap moments you want to share with us?
Oh, man. Well, let's see. I think we were playing Hammersmith Odeum, and Eric and I were supposed to come up on one side of the stage, and Scott Columbus and Joey were on the other side of the stage, and then we had the intro music that was just about to run, and like our manager at the time, I think Tom, called us to go a different way, to all come on together, and we ended up walking into this furnace room by all these electricity boxes, and the music was running for the intro, and they're getting ready to open the curtain, and we're nowhere near the stage. We're in some kind of electronic room, something, freaking out, trying to turn around and figure out which way to go, left or right, to get to the stage. And right when the curtain opened and the music stopped, Joey comes running out on stage to start a bass solo, because we still weren't near the stage yet until we could find it to get on stage to start the song. Yeah, so that's a true story. That was messed up.
Oh, wow, man.
Renee, it was funny when it happened, but when we were in it, we were like, where the hell are we at? Where's the damn stage?
Oh, wow. Renee, do you have any questions for David?
Yeah, I've got my my usual. I want to know which one of you guys spends the most time in front of the mirror before a show.
I would say none of us do, but maybe our drummer, Gabriel. He'll probably hit me for saying that.
If I was to pick up your iPod or your MP3 player, whatever you listen to music through, and push play, what band would I be listening to?
Well, that would depend on the playlist. It would have all my music and my new stuff I'm doing, but most importantly, I think it would have the greatest hits of ABBA. Yeah. All my life around ABBA. Biggest band in the world, my idols. No. And then it would be the Oak Ridge Boys.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, no. Believe it or not, I've just got all kinds of stuff in there that me and my wife download. Stuff from Pat Travers to Johnny Winters to the Doobie Brothers to Black Sabbath. You know, there's just a mixture of all kinds of songs in there. And then we've got a playlist when I go to the gym and work out that's really upbeat music, so you can just keep you pumping along when you're, working out and stuff and riding the treadmill and stuff.
Cool, man, cool. Now, the next song I want to play is Bleeding Hell, brother. What can you tell us about it?
What that is a track off the Hellborn CD. But when I got Warren in the band, at the time I had a keyboard player named Drake Bethesda. So what we did was when Warren was in the band and we were putting the live set list together, whatever songs we were doing from the previous record, I would get the original recordings, pull the singer that was on the record at that time off, load it up in my studio, and have Warren come in and actually sing the song, practice it so he could put his own stamp on it, his own style, so he could own it when he gets in the rehearsal hall to do it live. And we added keyboards, and there's keyboards all over the new record. But 3 of the songs off the Hellborn I used, The Lie, Bleeding Hell, and Asylum God. We added keyboards to it with a lot of orchestral choir and strings and gothic stuff, and it gives it a lot more epic feel. On the actual Hellborn CD, there was no keyboards, and Dennis Hirshire sang on it. He did a good job. But when you hear Warren's version and you hear the keyboards we added, it just gives it that way more to it. The keyboards add more power to it and more epic to it, and it gave him a chance to really own the song. When he sang live, it's like he wrote it with me.
Cool, cool. All right, listeners, check this out. This is Bleeding Hell from David ShankleGroup, and we'll be right back with the Shred Demon. Check it out.
Life needs to take your breath and leave no
Okay, addicts, we're back with David Shankle. Dave, how you doing, man?
I'm okay, man. Thanks for playing my stuff.
Let's talk about Jezebel, the over-the-net
Yeah,
movie.
Jezebel. Damien Dante, the producer, Jeff Swanee from Dark Star Records, they approached me to do a crazy demon solo for the movie where the girl, the featured actress in it, Brie Michaels, is changing into this vampire, and they wanted her to hold the guitar and act like she was playing with this crazy solo. So I wrote a 1-40-second solo called the Demonic Solo for them. And what they did was I had to shave the hair off my arms, paint my fingernails, and I actually shot the video and played it, and then they dubbed in my hands with the girl the best they could, which they did a really good job to make it look like she was playing. And then I stood in front of a green screen and actually played the solo that you hear on the audio, and they shot a full video for me and edited the background, and it's called the Demonic Solo, and it's been hailed as one of the fastest solos out there. There's a lot of my technique that I'm known for, playing over the neck, string skipping arpeggios over the neck, hand over hand arpeggios, and that video was done to be for the movie, and I have it. It's up on all my sites, but the actual solo, the audio, will be on the next DSG record.
Oh,
and it's Jezebel.com. You can hear it up on my Reverb Nation. It's up on my websites, my MySpaces, Facebook. You know, it's all. If you go to my YouTube site, Dave DSG, I've got 115 videos up there, and it's up there. It's called the Demonic Solo for the movie Jezebel.
Cool, man, cool. Now,
Yeah.
you're everywhere. You're on all the social networks, Reverb Nation, YouTube, MySpace, Twitter, Facebook. You have DavidShankle.com. You're everywhere, man, right?
Well, I believe promotion these days and using the power of the internet is the best way to get anybody out there, whether you're an artist, a painter, a car builder, a carpenter. Use the power of the internet to promote the hell out of you, man. You know, get on as many sites as you can. You know, get on the most popular sites, link them together, and try and keep things updated. You know, that's, you know, I believe the power of the internet we didn't have like we do now 20 years ago, 30 years ago and stuff. You know, well, we didn't have cell phones, you know. It's like the internet is a very powerful thing. Again, I've been teaching online lessons for 6 years over the internet through Skype. Skype is free. Again, if you people are interested in lessons, no matter what level you are, contact me through my Facebook, my website, or my email, Dave_Shankle@yahoo.com. I'll get back to you and help you out. You know, again, the new record's coming out, DSG-David ShankleGroup, right after the new year. My new line of guitars with Grossman Guitars. And, you know, the Jezebel movie is out. It's coming out on DVD in October. The solo's called the Demonic Solo, and it was done for the movie. And I'm proud of my new band. These are the best guys I got. And, you know, just trying to move forward while I'm alive, man, and just get my music out there and get it to my MASSACRE fans. And if you like me, great. If you don't, that's okay, too.
Cool, man, cool. Now, you have any upcoming shows, man?
Yes, we're going to be playing at Nightcaps in Chicago, November 3rd on a Saturday. And then we're going to be playing at Tailgaters with Veilsides, some friends of ours, and my buddy Paradox, that I used to be in that band back in '85 with John Dobbs and the boys. Then after that, it's off to the NAMM show, and then the new record, and, you know, promoting my new line of guitars.
Sweet, man, sweet. So now, what would you say is the ultimate goal for DSG?
Is to actually keep selling records and sell more records and try and, you know, get as most of the MASSACRE people that put me on the map to really know who DSG is and, you know, and be able to try and be, you know, successful at what I'm doing as long as I can, and to meet other people in the business and make friends and other connections and grow with my music and recording and in the business and learning more about how things are done and continuing to write, you know, each album better than the last one and make as many friends as I can in the business, you know.
Right, cool, man. Now, before I
and to help as many young people on guitar, to give them guitar lessons and help them go through things that I didn't have to and make life easy for them.
Right, man, that's what it's all about.
Right on.
Now, before I let you go, man, the last song I want to play is The Lie. What can you tell us about it?
That's another song off the Hellboy record that I had Warren come in and do vocals on, and we added keyboards to. And this is a true story. In the studio, like I said, you know, people don't see you in the studio play over the neck or whatever, and they don't really care. Live, it's a whole different thing. I believe you got to live by the 3 A's: attitude, aggressiveness, and appearance. If you've got those things and you're any good, you got a fighting chance to compete with the best of them out there. But this solo in the lie, there's a lot of arpeggios, a lot of string skipping stuff, and fast melodic playing, and that whole thing was done 75% over the neck to just prove it to myself, and it turned out great. The keyboards really turned out great and add more to it. And Warren, what a great job he's doing with this stuff, don't you think?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell, kick
Yeah,
ass,
I'm really
man.
glad to have him. He's my buddy. So this is the live remix version from the Hellborn CD with Warren Halverson on vocals, Drake Mephisto on keyboards, Jeff Kylo on bass, and my old drummer, man, that was in there, Brad Sabathany.
Sweet, sweet. David, I want to thank you for calling in tonight, man. It's been a pleasure and an honor.
It was
I want to
amazing
thank you
having
for
you
having
on.
me.
Thank you so
and
much.
Renee, you've done a great job. And Renee, I hope you get over your flu soon. Being sick's not good. And when the new record gets ready to come out, I'll let you guys know, and maybe we can do another interview and talk about all the new stuff on the new record.
Oh,
Man.
hell yeah. That'd be great, man.
I want to say thank you to all the MANOWAR fans and DSG fans, or any new fans that logged on. I hope you like what you're hearing. Check out the new website, DavidShankle.com, David Shankle Facebook, my YouTube site, Twitter, MySpaces, and again, if you're interested in lessons, you can find me on those sites, man. Hail and kill.
Hail and kill. This is The Lie, and we'll be right back, addicts. Check it out. David, thank you again.